So first and foremost, this is a I've been into NFTs now since May, but I'm doing it the way I've done it through my own come up. It's not been the normal way. I don't think many people have. I don't see it as much. I see the money and I see the potential and I see the perpetuity of it, but I, I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it's fun. I do it because it has challenged me. I've literally faith invested everything I've done in NFTs. And if you take my VFriend or VFriend related NFTs, and that will be the model, and he will be the voice of what we're doing and how we do it. Because that's he. If I'm Morpheus, he's Neo, and if he isn't Neo, NFTs are. It's almost like they're one and the same creature. NFTs are an IPO. NFTs are they're a stock release without the bullshit shareholders trying to control the company and demanding profits. This is a marathon game for me. This is not a sprint. I want to build a brand. I want to build an NFT brand, and then I want to launch different NFT projects within that brand, and or be an NFT project company that represents other people and their projects and gives them, well, I don't know, the tools of how to execute it. For example, you have to use social media for advertising. You have to create continuous content because you have to have a Discord, which is kind of a, I don't even know who the hell uses Discord. I use it to watch NFT project, the projects that I've invested in, and anybody that talks about crypto and shit like that. But I fucking hate crypto. Like, I don't give a shit about it. It's just it's day trading of something digital versus stock, and I fucking hate stocks. I don't even like real estate. I mean, I like owning the buildings for my company, but as far as, I mean, I could be flipping houses my entire life. Fuck that. I hate that shit. So I like NFTs because I like what they represent and what they can do, and the joy that I get from it. It's like everything I learned in my career, wins and losses, is part of this NFT idea. And everything I've done with my hobbies and the things that I enjoy and love and get pleasure from become an NFT, part of my NFT view. My joy in life, my love of helping others, my need to give back more, my need to get other people in a better space is part of my NFT thinking, my NFT project. I do not give a shit about a cash grab. I give a shit about making money, of course, but I want to do it in a way that is a legacy. And honestly, these NFTs, they're on the blockchain for eternity. Think about Voyager 1. Voyager 1 is the furthest human-made thing from the Earth out in space. And I remember researching that they have like these discs, and on these discs are all the things that some fuckface thought was important. Well, it was probably scientists and shit, so they were probably cool. They weren't fuckfaces. Not that I'm anti-establishment or anti-government or any shit like that, but I am anti-fucking people over to make money. So if we launch Voyager 1 today, we would take blockchain data and cram that all into something much, much smaller than these disks and multiply that data by 10 billion and send that out into space. NFTs can be anything you can think of. I could take my family photos and I can digitize them. But if I actually made NFTs out of my family photos, they would be on the blockchain for eternity. And that has value unto itself. That has meaning. So backing up, the blockchain is truly a digital ledger. It's flawless. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be fucked with unto yet. But I believe that it is going, I mean, considering that the waves fraud are committed, the blockchain in itself will not be manipulated or fucked with for a very long time, if ever. Okay. That's why it exists in part. So going down this path, it becomes something that's going to be here forever. And to understand what Web3 is, Web 1 was the internet, Web 2 is social media, and Web 3 is the crypto, NFT, digital asset, all that shit is Web3. There will not be a Web4. That's it. If you think about the way the world exists currently, I mean, I would say there probably isn't. I think the ecosystem has closed when NFTs were born. Why? Because the internet is the superhighway. The Web2, social media, is the attention. And then Web3 is crypto, the currency, digital currency, and then NFTs are the digital asset. There's nothing else that you need in an ecosystem of capitalism, or literally how we work on this planet or others. The ecosystem has closed. Now, what happens when an ecosystem is complete? It then evolves. And that's what's happening now. We're at the infancy of the NFT crypto relationship, and all that that means. It is a perfect moment in time for certain people to not just profit greatly, but to define their legacy, to have to be proud of something that is it's indestructible. And so anything that you love or that you do or that gives you joy in life can be essentially infused into an NFT. And that's the biggest reason why I love it, because I love the journey that I've taken with NFTs and where I started to where I'm at now. But I also love its potential and my place in time right now to take full advantage of it. And taking advantage of it to me means getting greater day-to-day joy in life, making money, creating something special, and then being able to make money off of it in perpetuity, and then being able to give back to others and help others, you know, succeed and profit as well. So I need to order a fucking pizza. I'm hungry. All right, so let's do this in parts. So the last thing I want to say in this excerpt is understand potential. The potential is this. There are 8 billion people on Earth. And for example, Facebook stock, because Facebook is dealing in Web 2, it's going to be dealing in Web 3. It may have its own crypto at some point once the SEC decides what the fuck all that's all about. I mean, they are going to be on the cutting edge, kind of like Google, kind of like Amazon. So there are 2.67 billion shares of Amazon's of Facebook stock, and they're worth about $230. There are only 500,000 OpenSea accounts currently on Earth. So that's 500,000 people out of 8 billion. Of course, there are third worlds, there are children, there are the elderly. I get it. It's not really perfect 8 billion, but you get that there are only 500,000 people onboarded with NFTs, or even could buy one if they wanted one today. So, and like Gary V, he has a VFriend Series 1. He has many VFriends that have basically been born of the Series 1, kind of like byproducts, which we'll go into the utility of that later. And he has book games. But book games in itself is really, we can just call it VFriends 3.5. And then here in April, here in 5 days, he's launching VFriends Series 2. Now, ultimately, what I'm trying to get to is there are only 10,500 VFriends on the planet, the Series 1s. There are only like 1,700 mini VFriends. There are 125,000 book games. And then there are, which book games are like almost like tokens, and they're NFTs. They're almost like a hybrid. We can figure that shit out later. And then Series 2, there's going to be 55,000 Series 2 VFriends. So doing the math, we have what, 180,000, right? Jesus, Jim, 125,000 plus 55,000 is 180,000. Currently, the minis are at 1,700, but they'll get up to at least 5,000 or more. So 185,000 plus the book games is like over just north of 300. I already said that. 185,000. So around 250. We're under 250,000. I'm sorry. So we're under 250,000 stock shares. Okay. But even in that, these shares have different values. A book game is only worth let's say half an Ethereum, which is $1,500 right now, or it's a little higher, but actually they're selling for a little lower. So $1,500. And then you have the VFriend Series 1. The very lowest one is 16 Ethereum, $43,000. And that's just, and they have layers within themselves, but we're not going to overcomplicate. Then the mini friends, they're selling for, it depends on which one, but some of them are sold as high as 12,000. Some of them are selling for about 5,000. And then you have the Series 2, they're going to come out at $1,000 at mint, but they're going to be worth more than even, I think, the mini friends. I think they're going to exceed a $10,000 price point. I do. As the markets kind of regulate and people start to understand more what they mean, people keep onboarding onto OpenSea and understand they want to invest in NFTs. But you're talking, yeah, I know that, Facebook is $230 a piece, but these things are, they vary in their prices and they vary in their utilities, what they give, what they got. Oh, and I'm sorry, the last thing is actually a hybrid, which is a crazy, beautiful thing about NFTs. There are actual VCon tickets. So this is my page. These are my NFTs. It all started with the main 4 that I bought. They were the original Series 1 VFriends. And we can go down the labyrinth of what I bought and why I bought it. But this guy here, these are very special. They're called Spectaculars. This is, it's the floor NFT. I don't really remember what the shit they're called. Rares or core. And then the gift code is a hybrid that gives a physical NFT gift 6 times a year for 3 years for 18 additional NFTs and 18 additional physical gifts. So the reason why this matters mostly is because of the additional utility that an NFT can provide. So you can provide a physical object bound to the digital object. You can give additional NFTs based on the initial NFT. Like they have this just a plethora of possibilities and what they can represent. And then because of the gift goat, I was gifted, I've only gotten 3 so far. I was gifted just this yellow guy, not these 2. I bought those aftermarket because I again, this is about NFT investment. We'll go into that strategy shit later because it will affect what I would want to do. This was the second gift, and then this was the third gift. So I have 3 NFTs out of 15 coming, and understand that the 3 NFTs that I have now on the secondary market would pay for my original NFT, my original gift goat. They would pay for it if I sold this guy, and that other dude. And don't get caught up on what they look like or what they mean, because that shit honestly doesn't mean dick, unless it does, which is like an Andy Warhol picture or a Jackson Pollock, which is just shit splattered on the wall, but people value it at millions of dollars. So you have to remember valuation, how we think things are of value. These I bought on the secondary market, but they're mini VFriends. And then the last thing I was going to talk about is VCon tickets. Because I own those 4 at the very bottom, I get 4 free tickets, 1 for each NFT, and I get it for 3 years. Now, the cool thing is these are NFTs unto themselves. So even if I burn this and I go to the VCon, which I am going, these will actually have additional value. So I'll get an admission ticket, but it doesn't mean this goes away. It just means it's been used, or it can't be used anymore, obviously, because VCon is over after June 1st. But they still have value. Currently, they're selling, and this is what I want to dive into just to start giving valuation ideas. So this is the VCon ticket. This is the very first VCon is coming out in May. It's a giant conference full of all kinds of badasses, from Deepak Chopra to Snoop Dogg, to a lot of the NFT project creators, to influencers. This is a very important event to learn the shit that I need to learn. There are 10,200 of them. The floor price right now to get one is 1.8 Ethereum. You know what the shit that means? That means that I have 4 tickets right now, because people want to go, that are selling for 5,800, 6,100, 6,100, 6,100. Some poor sap bought one for 11,000, 6,200. So, and they're selling how often? This is just today alone. Look at and this is the beauty of the blockchain. it's all digital ledger shit. You can't pretend. You can no longer have a fake G6 in your garage, the set behind you, and say that you got a private plane. No, you don't own a VFriend, because I can look you up and you don't have that. As a matter of fact, I know who owns that. It ain't you. So we're talking about NFTs is getting into utility and value because of utility. It's getting into the collectability. Like the first VCon tickets will be worth more than the second. Like the first gift I ever got with the gift goat, that's why I bought 2 more, because I almost bought a second gift. That rainbow looking goat thing. Don't give it, I know it's cheesy as shit. Anyway, but I bought the first. Something has a shine to it. It's new. You want to buy it. I don't give a crap. I bought it for its rarability, and I bought it for its the essence of first, and we can dive down that later. But I just want to, I want, what the hell do I want? We'll go back to my profile. But I want, I want to, so how do these things have value? Gary V has a multimedia company with 1,700 employees. He's got offices all over the world. He knows the consumer like no other person. He's one of the kindest human beings that I've ever been affected by in business or otherwise. He's as consistent as they come. He puts out tons of free podcasts and all kinds of shit for free. The things you could learn listening to Gary for free, you could pay 10,000 and not get 1/100th of what he's putting out there. He's very esoteric in his thinking, but he's very secular in his practices. He doesn't talk about God. He doesn't talk about things like God. He's not against it, but he doesn't preach it. At the same time, everything he does in life is really, truly very Christian, or honestly, any religion in its true form or its true intent. He's a damn good fucking guy. And he believes in the long term. This is his IPO. He's treating it as his stock. And that's the same thing that I want to do, because I want to continuously and forever promote these things. But it's trying to figure out what I can accomplish, what's feasible, what's going to happen over time, what I enjoy doing, so it doesn't become old or stale or boring later. I mean, all that shit is going to play into the NFT projects that I want to create. Do I want to have a physical object bound to the digital? Do I want to go down the collectible route? Do I want to create something that has an additional first to it? Do I want to create one that is a lot more like tokens and like almost like crypto, except it's non-fungible, which means it's unique unto itself. Fungible is like, an Ethereum coin. I can interchange them and that's, it's fungible. Non-fungible means there's only one on the planet kind of shit. So I have some ideas. I think I have some very good ideas. They're simply just evolving right now. I don't think I have an actual full-on plan yet. I'm open to different ideas. But I need people, I need to understand the smart contract. I need to understand what the SEC might do because of some of the ideas I have, and then create some wiggle room there. I want to think about, what appeals to the collector, what appeals to the investor, what appeals to the hobbyist, what appeals to the charitable. I want to build a charity into it. What you do is you build royalties into these things where, every time an NFT that we would create sells, you can then create a built-in mechanism of getting some percentage of that back into the hole. So back into the pot. So I want to do some percentage of the NFTs that I create, and I want to give to charity so that forever in perpetuity, it can go to charitable anythings. I mean, I currently would like to provide to the charity that's doing its best to provide the world with clean water. I mean, that would be my number one desire. But thank you. Last thing, I don't know. I was thinking my inner moron. I want to show value. Last thing I want you to understand is the potential value. And now, I'm not saying that any NFT I create will be worth 100 and something thousand unto itself, but I want to create that understanding of what it could actually be. And it really best starts back at the very beginning, my first purchase of the VFriend. And I'll tell you why I bought it. So, and this is this connecting the wallet thing. This is about, like I said, MetaMask. I have a MetaMask. That's my NFT wallet. But these websites are created so that you can connect your wallet to specific sites if you so choose. It's, you know, it's that layered login effect. Maybe you guys understand it better than I do, but I think it's fucking cool and it took me forever to figure out. So now that I have this, I can go to my collection, and this shows you what I paid. This is, again, the beauty of the blockchain. You can't bullshit. You can't lie. You can't say you bought something for a certain amount, and you can't say that you bought something or even own a thing. You can't do it. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to talk about was the vanity metric of an NFT. And that plays too, like the social flex. Okay. So like quick example, only example, Nike bought Artifact, and they are a digital marketing NFT company. The reason why they bought it, why would Nike want a digital shoe? Why the hell would they give a crap? Because of the knockoffs. Because I can have a pair right now of, and I know Nike didn't make Jordans, but I could have a $500 pair of Jordans that cost me $25 in Singapore, right? And they look damn near the same. So I can flex it, I can show it, I can put it on Facebook, I can tell everybody I'm a badass. But in truth, now if there's a digital shoe, an NFT that comes with the actual, now it's blockchain related. Now the knockoff brand can't say that they paid $500 anymore. So now you got to pay the 500. Now evolve that thought to my Hellcat or a Rolex or any high dollar item. If it had an NFT that came with it, it is a card of authenticity. Think about like these art, think about people that, like, you know, we found a Van Gogh. So some expert has to come in and say, yeah, that's for real. Experts don't have to fucking exist anymore, because the blockchain will verify it at the birth of that physical thing. And there will be a mechanism built into it. So if I had an NFT for my Hellcat and I sold the Hellcat, it could punch the NFT and essentially say, Jim no longer owns the physical object, because the person that bought it got their NFT the date and time in which they acquired the Hellcat. So then an NFT can represent a timeline of things, which is also why it plays into my business, digital records, you know, chain of title and mortgages and deeds and shit like that. It's all the same shit. I can now put all that on the blockchain in the metaverse, and it will ultimately, not in my lifetime, maybe at the end of my lifetime, eliminate government offices that's their only fucking job. Your taxes, I mean, your property taxes, that shit will all be automated. That shit will all be on the blockchain. You paid it, you didn't, it's late, it's not, it goes to tax sale, all that shit will be digitized. So the social flex plays heavily into it, because think about the other thing. Say you buy your wife, or say you get a 3-carat diamond ring. You ain't wearing that to the fucking demolition derby at the county fucking fair. But now, if people have your social media, well, you don't have to wear the son of a bitch. Matter of fact, you don't ever have to wear it. You can leave it a damn safe. But people know you have it because the NFT says that you have it. And that is the social flex. I can't drive my Hellcat in the middle of winter, nor would I. I don't have to. I may never drive the damn thing. I might just throw a fucking tarp on it and never drive it again if I just want to like be cool. Because now there will be a room on your Facebook page. And last thing, it is an admission ticket like those VCon tickets. Every NFL game in 5 years will be an NFT. Every basketball game, every professional, every concert you go to. Kenny Chesney, it's an NFT. Because why? Yeah, it may not have any value. Kind of like a picture of me as a kid, you know, on Lamb Lake where I grew up. It matters to me, though, it has value to me, but it also shows others what I'm interested in. So it shows your interest in things. It's a way for people to get to know you and actually not just hear you bullshit, but man, you went to 5 Kenny Chesney concerts in the last year. You drove all over the country to do it. Blockchain proves that you did. You have an NFT says that you did. So it's a way of keeping track. It's a way of validating the things that you know, socially, what people say they did or did not do. And it's a collectible, because now for the rest of your life, you have this thing that says that you went to all those concerts and those are fond memories and you love that. So there is that metric of sentimentality and connection. It's a photo album, or it could be, it ultimately will be. So all that plays in heavily too. That's why first is such a big deal. I got the first one. Well, I got the first one of that. That didn't exist before that NFT project launch. I got that first one. Right. And that guy is awesome. And he's launched 5 other projects and his company's doing great. And the NFT values are going up and the resale is good. And I want to own one because that name has a good name. All that shit plays. Unless you're a cash grab piece of shit son of a bitch who just, I mean, like, I know there's tons of famous people who can't launch their NFTs right now because other famous people have launched their dog shit and made their millions and essentially just skinned the fucking sheep and left it for dead. So there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen. There's a lot of shit. And so you have to create these communities and you have to create content and you have to be consistent in your message more than ever. But that's a beautiful thing if you're not a piece of shit. So last thing, I've said last thing about 10 times, but this shows you the full results of the NFTs that I currently own. And what I paid. I paid 3 Ethereum, and at the time, technically, Ethereum was through the freaking nose, and I wasn't buying it wisely. But I only paid 3 Ethereum. Gift code, I paid 7.24 because I was so hyper excited to get it. I could not wait for it to drop to the floor. I did it wrong. Don't care. It doesn't matter now. 3 Ethereum for this RAM, and then 0.63. So if I bought Ethereum correctly, that little son of a bitch would only cost me $1,000. Cost me a little over 2, but I don't give a crap. Now, the cool part is, what are the values of those now? And these launched in May. So 11 months ago is when they were created. Because Gary is fucking Neo, I did this and I was literally blown away. If I count up all my book games, my mini friends, and my my VCon tickets, and I evaluate those, I'm already over $600,000 in a. Let's just safely say I've spent a shit ton. 25. So let's just say I've spent 70,000. So I turn my 70,000 over 600. And that's in 11 months. That doesn't fucking happen. But it's also why I've created TikToks that show that one that I spent only 0.6 on. That if I had done it right, I could have bought it for 0.5. And if I bought it for 0.5 and I got Ethereum at the right price, it would only been $1,000. But so that's the first one I want to use. So let's go to the V Friends, and let's go to, this is again the beauty of blockchain. Let's go to the activity. Right. All right. So right now, my core, my RAM, I could basically say would sell for 47,000 when you saw that I paid 0.63. So let's just say I paid 2,000 and now it's 47,000. But then you have to go right underneath the one before it. This is all within 2 hours, 4 hours. There is no real value difference between these two. But someone paid 57,000. So now I can kind of bump my price depending on timing if I'm not being too. If I'm not pressed for time. 44 grand. Don't look at these because these are worth more. So I'm trying to apples to apples. 47, 37. These are low. I can't believe people dump that shit. That's ridiculous. Now you saw my gift code. Look at that son bitch. That gift code sold for 50 Ethereum or $170,000, and that does not include the gifts that I got from it, which are currently, and I'll show you that real quick. And honestly, turn this shit off because I'm just trying to give you guys an understanding of value. You saw I had a lava background flamingo, 95,000, sold 6 days ago. Let's just find a hologram because see, this one went for 187. That gift code. I saw one for over 200,000 recently, but I just want to show you the hologram background because they do have, and I'll explain. We can understand, rarity later, but still it's rarity. It's like, not necessarily like a rookie card, but say there's only 1 of 100 of a thing. So I just wanted to find a hologram, but you got to understand, and this is, a lot of people are holding these. Okay. So 119,000 was the last hologram background. I got the RAM, it sold for 119 grand. So let's go back last to those are B friends, right? Well, you know what? I don't think it fucking matters. I think you guys understand. I think you understand the potential value here. The real trick is creating utility. These don't, I mean, these have VCon tickets, but these are a first and they're monstrous because of the brand, because of the man. He will be like Disney. I mean, people will be wearing like these characters. They'll be wearing that shit. Your kids will be wearing that shit. Or, okay, like my grandkids will be wearing that shit. I don't want any grandkids anytime soon. So, I mean, he's building a brand. I mean, he's doing it, but he's doing it the right way. And there's just such an opportunity, and it can be so much damn fun. And no longer do we have to sell fucking widgets. You know, we can do something with this. I know that I can. I know I need help. Because, you know, great ideas are great. The creative process is fun. The execution is an absolute motherfucker. And I really don't even give a shit to share anything right now. I would put I'm going to put it on the social YouTube website. No one's going to watch it. But the reason why I don't give a shit, because this shit ain't easy. This is hard. This is like I've spent months trying to learn this shit. I'm still dumbfounded by half the things that are going on. I listen to podcasts almost every day. I'm consuming, and then processing and trying to create my own version of it, because I think this is the time for that to happen. And it's fascinating. And there's so many ways to go, but the truth is you have to execute something. You got to get something on the fucking board. You can't sit in the creative space for that fucking long. And honestly, I want to do a project just to see what got fucked up to do the next one. I am open to the idea of liking the Beatles at some point in my life. I don't like them yet, but Paul McCartney said something that I will never forget. Someone asked him, "What is the best song you ever wrote?" And he said, "I haven't written it yet." And that's the other part of creating and putting it out there and sharing ideas. Fucking steal it. I don't give a shit, because the best idea I've ever had, it's not even been born yet. It doesn't even exist. All of this is going to go to a next place to create that thing. And because we're in such an infancy of the NFT, I don't give a shit if it's 3 years from now. We could still do, I mean, just a profound thing here, or multiple things. And we can go in different directions. Do you create a company that creates NFTs? Do you just do it and have a parent company and then create other projects? That to me sounds the most sexy and most fun. But then again, I can see us creating platforms that exist for, like, say, my title company, and I could sell that fucking software to every goddamn place in this country. I could get the title companies on board and sell the fucking programming and or the company and the programming and create the NFT. I mean, it could be fucking gigantic. The thing is, I don't want it to be fucking boring. I like Lord of the Rings. I like stained glass. I like going fishing. I like reading biographies. I like history. I don't want to go across the country and sell my title plant to people. Fuck that. That sucks. I want to do something that I enjoy, that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about NFTs, but I'm not. I'm passionate about what NFTs can be, and the expression that they give, and the multifaceted face that they can wear, and making a little fucking money and having a good time doing it. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it doesn't get better than that. This is the greatest opportunity laying at our feet, like I said. And all we have to do is have the fucking balls to go after it and put in the time and the hours, because we see the potential and what it actually means and represents. It's fucking profound. Like I said, it's the zeitgeist. This is the culmination of right now in history, and it's fucking huge. This is bigger than fucking going from horse to car, from radio to television, from no sound to sound, before the light bulb and after. I would say air conditioning is a big one for me, because how could you live in fucking South Florida if you didn't have air conditioning? Like the Firestone estate, which is where the Fountain Blue is. They ripped it down and then built the Fountain Blue. Anyway, The point being, it's bigger than that. It's the fucking printing press. It's the fucking printing press. It is the distribution of something so massive. It's going to be pervasive everywhere. There are three ways to give a fuck, just like the internet was, just like social media was. Well, real quick, people said the internet was a fad. They're fucking stupid. Some people said, back in 1860, some people said that slavery would last forever. Fucking stupid. Some people said that they would never get a cell phone. Fucking stupid. Like, why be fucking stupid? Like, if you didn't make $1 million off of Bitcoin, what the fuck are you not listening for? You already fucked up because you're what, hubris? Hubris is the greatest fucking ally if you don't exercise it. Fucking pride, ego, know everything, fear of change, fear of the future, fear of the unknown. Get the fuck out of here. Embrace that shit and you will literally reap it. And sharing it. Goddamn, all my content is about people paying the fuck attention. I'm not selling anything. I just want people to like take advantage of this. So then fuck, I got a little excited. We have so much historical proof of how we insist on holding on to what we know and insist on denying what we don't. And NFTs are literally the digital age, Web3, the metaverse. It's the fucking, what the hell are you doing? It's the greatest moment that you fuck. Like, you know how fascinated you were to ask an old person about, like, you remember like when you didn't have cars? Remember you didn't have TV? Remember it was black and white? Like, even now, like, kids don't even know what those big giant fucking boxes are. I remember this, there's a thing where you do like, hey, pretend like you're answering the phone. There's a certain age that doesn't do this, they do this. That shit's fascinating. So NFTs will be everywhere. Sorry, last point. Yep, circle back. There are three ways in which you're going to have NFTs. You're going to passively have an NFT. Unless you live under a rock, you will go to a concert, you will go to a sporting event, you will do something that will give you an NFT. Whether you can go and collect it or not, it'll be there when you're ready because it's sitting on the blockchain for you forever. Unless there's something in the smart contract that says you lose it. Two, you invest. You get involved, you pick your projects, you buy your NFTs, you now have an active investment, or you create. You build your own, you give it utility, you give it collectability, you give it a story, you give it a narrative. People want the story, they want the narrative. This shit, all this shit, this is a goddamn art gallery. This is my art gallery, and I will put together a narrative. Like, I've got video that I will piece together over time. Because I'm going to sell this as a collection. I'm not selling one VFriend. I'm going to sell the whole fucking set for $5 million. You see, it is art. It is collectability. It is history. It's every fucking thing wrapped into this one vehicle. It's incredible. And we're at the infancy of it. Think about that corny shit. Think about the modem firing up and you had to get off the phone so you could get on your modem, so you could get AOL to tap in and you could look at pictures and stills. Because I used it for porn the very first time I discovered the internet. But of course I fucking did. But remember how silly that was? Remember how Yahoo was everything? Like remember MSN? Like there's all these things. LexisNexis. Like, all that shit was the beginning of the internet. And all of those, everybody did it a different way. And Amazon came and Google came and these other big ass companies that were born of the internet. So that's what NFTs are, but they're bigger. They're more. It's like the nature of water. They will be fluid. They will go everywhere. They will do everything. The limit is the imagination. The blockchain is the most fascinating fucking thing of our time. It's incredible when it comes to, technology, capitalism. I mean, whatever the hell. It's not my life. I know what it means though. It resonates. I get it. I've done enough. I've listened enough. I've researched enough. I've seen a lot of things that didn't win enough. I've been around, and this is the beauty of my right now, being 47. I have a foot in my youth and a foot in my old age, and I can take all of that and it's just a quintessential fucking moment, not just in my life, but in time itself. So powerful. I feel gratitude. I mean, at the end of it, I just feel grateful, like, to witness this. It's incredible. And I'm in awe of all the shit I don't know. Like, I have no fucking clue. Like, I'm like the human brain. Like, I got about 15% of it, and there's 85 out there that I still don't have a fucking clue about. But I am on to something. It's not. It's not a pipe dream. It's not failed businesses, but we can still fail, right? It's so beautiful, and all the things that it means, and it just ties it into one fucking, everything's aligned. We abuse so many terms. We say so much silly shit. We dilute language all the time. I'm self-aware. No, you're a fucking moron. Well, I'm emotionally mature. As a matter of fact, you're not. I just watched you 10 minutes ago act like a fucking idiot. Talk to your mother like she was a piece of shit. Yell at some stranger for not putting their card away. Like, we abuse terms that actually should not be abused. The stars have aligned. It is right fucking now. It is right out in front of us. And there's nothing in the history of my life or the last 500 fucking years that is significant as what the NFT is and can be. All right. How long was that shit?